feeding your army during SHTF, something that's probably a pretty important thing that we need to take a minute to discuss. So let's talk about that. Well, first of all, let's define exactly what that means. Whenever I think of my army during SHTF, that's pretty simple. It's my family. It's the group of people that I'm doing life with. And by feeding them, what I really mean is, what about the total logistics? Not just food, not just water, but what about AA batteries? What about clean socks? Propane to cook with? This normal stuff that we just use in daily life. All of that is extremely important, and it seems to get overlooked. After a while, you get past the whole fantasy that you're going to be all kitted up and, rolling around and CQBing your way up during the apocalypse. And you start to realize that feeding your army requires fuel for a generator. It requires paper plates because water's a precious resource. You can't be using that to wash dishes. All that stuff can just go to the trash. That's one less job that somebody else has to do. Somebody that's doing that job of the dishes that you do have to wash, they're part of your army, and they're doing their part to keep everyone fed. The person that does the laundry, the person that takes care of the minor scrapes, boo-boos, all of that is what I'm talking about whenever I say feed your army. There's a saying, and I'm not sure who originally said it, but it's always stuck with me. Noobs, my air conditioner just kicked on, so if y'all can't hear me, I apologize. But noobs talk about gear, amateurs talk about tactics, professionals talk logistics. There is no more truth in that statement than anything else out there. So let's start talking about that logistics stuff. And by the way, I've got an item of the day linked below. We'll discuss it at the end of the video. So with this logistics that you need to start focusing on, trust me, you've already got enough gear. You've already practiced enough tactics. I'm not saying stop, but those tactics don't do you any good if you don't have logistics. The good news is if you spend all of your time buying gear and focusing on tactics and CQB, you're not going to need much food. You're not going to need much logistics because you're not going to live long enough, right? Something to think about. Keeping vehicles running. Propane for the grill. Everybody just assumes that it's going to be all campfires and we're all just going to be Amish, but no. We're going to use the stuff we've got already. Stop overthinking this. Firewood, if it's in the wintertime and you heat with fire. Our house is all electric and propane supplementary heat. So feeding my army requires that I have electricity and propane. Who's in your army? Well, obviously, it's the people under your roof. Close family members, moms, dads, aunts, uncles, cousins, possibly. Close friends. And I don't mean just regular friends. I mean the friends that you consider family. The ones that you're standing right up there beside whenever your son gets married. But what are the things that you use every single day? Toilet paper, soap, something to wash your hands with, something to wash your laundry with. What about medications? Ibuprofen, Tylenol. Trust me, if things really get bad, Excedrin and ibuprofen are going to be everybody's best friend. Leather gloves, just a good set of work gloves. Even if everybody in your group of people has a good set of work gloves, they're going to wear out. I see people that have had the same pair of, work gloves for 6 months. I have no idea how they make that happen. And this isn't just some sort of an end of the world thing. This is stuff that we need every day. Get your logistics sorted out. Part of logistics is your finances. I know, I bring up money in every single video. It's important. And I've been broke, and it sucks being broke. Don't give me this shit about how money won't matter. because money does matter. It matters right now. Money is paying the bill that provides the internet that you're watching me on. Money purchases this sideways smartphone that I'm visiting with you guys on. Money buys this fence. There's a dog down here. Money buys the food for that dog. So don't tell me that the money won't matter. So now let's move beyond that, just beyond the setting stuff back and spending money and hoping for the best. Freeze-dried food stuff is really, really popular right now. Everybody wants it, and it's, if you've priced that stuff from Mountain House or wherever, you know how exorbitantly expensive that is. And a freeze dryer runs about $4,000. Go to any tourist town and find a candy shop. Entrepreneurs love to tell you about how they built their business, especially if they know that you're not going to be in competition with them. Find one of them that sells freeze-dried candy, and they'll tell you that you can make money hand over fist with one of those. We're actually looking at getting one in the near future. Go to any little kid's soccer game in the summertime. Take a big canister full of freeze-dried Skittles and a big canister full of freeze-dried Jolly Ranchers. Put 2 samples in every kid's hand that you see, and have 1-pound bags ready for sale for $15. You'll sell every one of them. All of everything that you need to be able to put up 50 years worth of freeze-dried food, basically paid for it right there, and you turned a profit on it. So start thinking about that. The things that you use in your preparedness journey, is there some way you can have that provide for you? Let's start thinking about, rather than purchasing things that are a consumption purpose, let's look at a consumption purpose that we can turn it into a production purpose. Let's have the production provide what we need for consumption and make a little bit of profit on that also. That doesn't always mean cash profit. Can you sell enough eggs to pay for your input costs? Can you take that riding mower and just mow 1 or 2 yards a week and have that thing pay for itself back? If you have a truck, what can you do with that truck? A good set of tools. You're going to have that stuff, right? Tools are part of the logistics that we're talking about. Is there anything you can do to make your tools produce something for you? This is what logistics is. This is talking about the coolest, barrel, your Faxon barrel for your AR. This is talking about the Cry JPC plate carrier. It's not even talking about how to pie the edge of the corner and how to clear a room. What we want to talk about is, how did we keep that person alive to get there? The logistics that sent out an intelligence party to find out that, there's bad guys over there. We don't even need to go there. And then we don't have to worry about doing the whole CQB thing. Logistics trumps everything. Start thinking about logistics. Yes, your gear is important, and yes, your tactics are important. But start thinking like a warlord. Start thinking like a general. Start thinking like a CEO. Get your logistics straight, and everything else will follow. Your communications. What are the logistics of that? Does everybody know how to use a radio? There's probably a few people in your group of people that don't need to have full access to every channel on the radio. They're the ones that have zero radio etiquette because they haven't been trained. They just need to chatter back and forth between each other. While at the same time, there might be a few other channels that y'all need to have extreme radio discipline. Not everybody needs access to that. And it's up to you to decide through your logistics plan on who gets that. All things to think about. Let's skip to the item of the day right now, and until next time, y'all be safe. Okay, so today's item of the day is just a 4-piece mechanic pick set. This was originally a 4-piece set. I've either lost or broken one, but really this is all you really need. You know, a straight pick, a 90-degree pick, and then one that's shaped like a hook. And these are incredibly useful for 1,000 different reasons. I'm constantly using them to reach inside, you know, with the automotive clips for electrical connectors. You can reach in there with a 90-degree pick and lift that latch up and unplug them. Just easy as pie. Doesn't take any effort at all. This right here, if you can see that right there is a screen from my bathroom faucet. This thing was completely and totally clogged. I took it out and I was using these, so I thought I'd go ahead and show it to you right quick. But the only way to get that thing out was to reach up in there with a pick and grab it kind of in the mesh there and pull straight down, and that popped right out. Our faucet was completely stopped. It wouldn't run at all, and having that pick really was the only way to get that out. If you got a serial number that you've got to kind of, you know, scratch the grease out of, or been 1,000 times I've dropped something like a little washer way down inside somewhere, this 90-degree pick is what I almost use exclusively. But you can reach down in there and hook it, grab it, pull it out. There's just 1,000 different reasons to have one of these. I'll put I think the link that I've got provided is one from Craftsman. It doesn't really matter what particular brand. These aren't a heavy use item. I will say it is nice if you can see that, where it's got a little bit of grip built in on the shank so that you can kind of get in there and turn and twist and make it do what you want. But it's about $10. It's about the mid-range. Like I said, I think it's a Craftsman. I probably wouldn't get the super cheap ones. But anyway, I'll post that link below in the description as well as the pinned comment. And clicking on that link, it really does help support the channel. It doesn't cost you a dime more, but I do make like a 2% commission off of an Amazon purchase. And if you click my particular link, I'll actually get the credit no matter what you buy, even if it's not something that I listed. All right, until next time, thank you guys. Oh, and some of y'all have been actually ordering things from my links. That is amazing that you would even consider giving me a portion of what you're spending your hard-earned fiat dollars on. So I really do thank you for that.